Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Power Connection chat and broadcast. My name is Bob Umar, and I'm here with my good friend Shahab Anari. Say hello to the world, Shahab.
Hi, Bobby. Hi, world. I'm super pumped to be here with you on this LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, and uh, I'm just excited.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Awesome. So we are having a special broadcast today because normally I do Mondays or Wednesdays and Fridays in the morning at 8:45 a.m. And today, but I've kindly got Shahab to actually join me for a special edition of Power Connection broadcast. And so people are joining in. If you're just joining in, let you know that I talk about topics from personal branding, leadership, employee engagement, public speaking, and things like that. But I also bring in some really fantastic speakers. I brought one on Monday. I have Shahab here today. I have another one on Friday. I have more next week. So I was very excited about that. So if you're just joining us, a few kind of house rules here. Number one, we want to engage you. The topic today is personal brand mastery. So any questions around personal branding that you want my lovely guest to answer, please do. I can also answer for you, which is fantastic. So be sure to ask those questions. We are making ourselves accessible to you. Secondly, let us know where you're from. Are you from North America, South America, Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia? Let us know. Engage us. Comment below. Engage people. Tommy's already said hello. Adil's already said hello. That's great. We want your engagement. We want your questions. If you like what you're hearing, tag people, have them join the conversation. Share on your own pages, have them join the conversation. You can even talk to each other, and you can even use the icons to like, clap, heart, light bulb, and smiley face to let people know you're totally engaged in the topic. So that's really what it's all about. We're just here about creating connection, sharing expertise, and what I'll do to start really is, Shahab and I have known each other for quite a few years. He's a personal brand expert with a great following and great expertise. I'm a personal brand advocate myself, so having a brother in arms in the same kind of category is exciting. You think that we're competitors. No, it's co-opetition. We love each other. It's fantastic. So, we all of the people that I love to talk about personal branding, we all are a great network of people. So what I'd like to start off with, actually, Shahab, is why don't you tell people a bit about you and about kind of your story, and then we'll kind of dive into personal branding and the topic for today. All right?
Absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity, Bobby. I have always looked up to you as a leader in our industry, personal branding industry, and you are a heartfelt leader in North America. I will never forget when, after my first year in Canada, obviously everyone can notice my accent. I wasn't born in Canada. I'm an immigrant. After my first year in Canada as an immigrant, I had hit a wall. I had tried everything to start my business, hadn't been successful. I had started to get into depression, started getting anxiety attacks. I was at some of the lowest moments in my life, and I started reaching out to people who were leaders in the personal branding industry, because I wanted to, start my business in this space and hadn't been successful getting clients. So I reached out to a few people, and one of the very few people who responded back and happily accepted my invitation for a short meeting was you, Bobby. So you was kind enough to provide me with the opportunity to sit down with you and share my journey with you and my struggles with you, and you gave me tips. And now I'm honored, after so many years, that I have a pretty successful business in Canada, and I have a big following. I'm running very big conferences, helping thousands of business owners myself, and I just wanted to share with you and your audience that I'm truly grateful for everything that you've done for me and everyone else in this space.
Wow, that's very kind of you, and I'm really appreciative of that. And I'm a big believer as part of personal branding, right? One of my brands is I'm responsive, and I will respond to messages, and I will try to help people if I can, and fit them in. So I'm grateful to have met you, and I'm grateful for your success and the fact that we're now collaborating, working on projects together. So that's super exciting, and I'm just honored. So that's great. Why don't you tell people a bit more about some of your personal branding expertise and kind of how you developed that and some of the success you had around that aspect?
Sure. So So what we do at Northstar Success, my company, is that we help business professionals get more clients, build their brand, and become the authority in their space. So my target audience are business professionals, mostly coaches, consultants, trainers, authors, subject matter experts. So I work with entrepreneurs and subject matter experts and help them with their personal branding. I not only help them with clarifying their personal brand, but also help them with communicating their personal brand and closing more deals. That's my methodology. I call it 3 C's: clarify, communicate, close. So that's a methodology that I use to help business professionals grow their business through personal branding. That's a big part of what I do, the coaching and training part. I do one-to-one coaching. I run group training courses very regularly. And another part of my business at Northstar Success is that we provide solutions, done for you solutions for, again, entrepreneurs and subject matter experts who want to build their brand. So if I do the coaching and training, I teach them to do it. But if I provide the done for you solutions, we actually do it for them. Our team actually does it for them. For example, if they want to write a book, we can write, publish, and market the book for them. If they want to build their speaking portfolio, we have the platform. We run monthly events. We run 2 big annual conferences. And we have the platform and following online and in person for them to get the stage, to share the stage with us and the other speakers. And so we have the platform that we can provide them with the opportunity. That's basically it.
Well, I also think that you should probably let people know that you've written many books. Maybe talk about that a bit. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, I've written many books. As an immigrant, I have an interesting, I think I can say I have an interesting story. I've changed careers 3 times. I'm a medical doctor by training. That's why you see the doctor title beside my name. I trained as a medical doctor 20-something years ago in Iran, where I originally come from. But then I found out this isn't my true genius. I'm not passionate about it. And then I kind of shifted into coaching training, but it was not in the business coaching world back then. It was in the test prep coaching space. I worked mainly with the students at that time. And eventually, after a few years in that space, I shifted into business coaching and specifically into personal branding, like 5, maybe 6 years ago. And I've written a lot of books along the way, more than 20 books actually, but in the space of personal branding, which is my expertise and my focus, has been my focus for the past 5-6 years. I've written 4 books, and I've actually helped more than 20 other people write and publish their books as well.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing. So if you're just joining me, I'm here with Shahab Anari talking about personal brand mastery. He and I are both passionate about personal branding, and he's written many books on this topic. He runs an event around personal branding and helping people as well on personal brand. And I do the same thing. With DYPB, Discover Your Personal Brand, we focus on leveraging our personal brand expertise to help organizations and employees create more alignment, focus, impact. We also go in and we have our own kind of methodology around personal branding, which is great. So, and if you have questions, join us, ask questions. Make sure you ask him as many questions as you can. I'm going to start with the first one, which is, can you give me your succinct definition of personal branding?
So since I focus on entrepreneurs and subject matter experts, my definition of personal branding is not a wide and vast and all-inclusive definition. I solely focus on subject matter experts like coaches, consultants, trainers, authors, mostly on them, in general, business professionals. So my definition of personal branding is discovering your unique promise of value and communicating to the right audience in order to grow your business. Okay. So it's mainly composed of 3 different parts. So the first part is discovering, which is the clarification, the first C in my methodology. So you have to become clear with your personal brand. What do you stand for? What's your unique promise of value in the world? The second one is communicating it. The second C in my methodology, how do you market your expertise? How do you create awareness in the market around who you are, what you do, and what problems you solve? And the third one is growing your business, which stands for the C, the third C, close in my methodology. How do you actually convert the people who are interested, who have raised their hands, into actual paying clients? So for me, personal branding is discovering your unique promise of value to grow your business.
That's great. And again, it's amazing how we have different, we have similarities in terms of our journey too. Because, one of the things you mentioned was test prep. I also, when I first started as a speaker, the first thing I did after I left the corporate world was I got a job teaching GMAT.
Yeah,
that's my first thing before I even launched as a speaker. So I have a significant experience in the test prep industry as well. And when it comes to personal branding too, I'm working on a personal branding model we created for DYPB, and we break it down actually into the 3 DYPBs, which is discover your personal brand, which you already mentioned, kind of your kind of diving in piece. The second part is design your personal brand. So now that's where you figure your target and your audience and what your objectives are. And then deliver your personal brand, putting it out there and communicating with the world. So that's kind of how we've done it. My personal brand definition has always been, it's your promise to everyone you come in contact with. And so basically what that means is no matter who you meet, whether it's your friends, whether it's your family, your coworkers, your clients, your partners, your followers, what do you promise them? So for me, when I promise to be full of heart, I promise to be responsive, I promise to try to inspire, be fun, things like that. And that's kind of how I focus on that aspect in terms of personal branding. So it's a fun exercise to have. It's a fun exercise to deliver on that promise. And I think that to your point, people can leverage their brand to find more insight and purpose around what they're trying to do, and then hopefully generate leads. And it looks like people are joining in here. As the day is here, says thanks. Christiana from Charleston, South Carolina is also here. Adil also has a question. We'll start with this first question from Adil. Adil from Pakistan. My question relevant to this topic would be, how important is it to know one's purpose when building a personal brand?
Okay, thanks for the question, Adil. Absolutely important. One of the fundamentals of personal branding is knowing yourself. And a part of knowing yourself is actually knowing your purpose, your goals, and your vision for life. But the idea of life purpose is sometimes feels like a touchy-feely subject. And I personally believe that there is no set life purpose, one single set life purpose for any person. Life purpose can change throughout the course of your life. For example, at one point in my personal life, I thought my life purpose was to become a doctor. But then I changed into another career and I thought, no, that's my life purpose. I need to help students become successful in their lives. And then I changed into something else. So let's be clear around life purpose. I would say finding your vision, discovering your vision, clarifying your goals is key to success in personal branding. That's how I think of purpose in personal branding. What do you think, Bobby?
Well, I like how you said that, there's no one life purpose. And I think people might challenge us on that, but I think that, when you think about it, I mean, my purpose is defined by many things, like being a father, for example. You're also a father of young kids. That is a huge part of my purpose. Now, it's separate from my work purpose. I want to champion and empower, professionals. It's also different from my purpose as, let's say, a husband and as a friend, and the other things I do, like playing chess. Like I have things that I'm doing hot yoga. So I think that it's important for us to realize that purpose. Usually, when we think about purpose, we're looking at purpose around work or our career, right? Which I totally understand. But you're right. I have different purposes. My greatest work, I think my greatest purpose is being a dad. It's my ultimate legacy and story. But work is also fun too, and so I do that one as well. And I also think that purpose and personal branding are definitely highly interrelated and important for each other. Focusing on your purpose can help you find your personal brand. Finding your personal brand helps you find your purpose. They go kind of hand in hand. But ultimately, purpose is that thing that gives you meaning, it gives you clarity, it gives you direction. And so diving into your personal brand is what's going to help you do that. And there's a comment here from Ginger who says, hey, Bobby, props to sharing more great people ideas. Purpose is your why. Yeah, I mean, your why statement also is a way. I would say your why statement is another means to find your purpose, just like personal branding is a means to find your purpose. But your why statement is basically a thing that identifies, why you exist, who your target audience is, and things like that. The other thing I'll add is that I have a why statement that I use to define everything. So my why statement is there are lost, stuck, or unfulfilled leaders everywhere. And so for me, I use that for everything, for my work, for being a father, for being a son, a friend. It covers everything I do in my entire life. And so I have a why statement that covers my entire life, but my purpose is actually multifold. That's what I would say.
That's amazing. So I just want to add another comment to this, and actually to share my own why and how it's related to my personal brand.
Sure.
So my why is you, as a subject matter expert, have a message to share. And I'm here to help you clarify that message and communicate it to the right audience. And that directs all of everything that we do at Northstar Success.
Nice. That's a good one. That's a good one. And Christiana wants to clarify. Is it clarify, create, and close? That's your three C's?
Clarify, communicate, close.
Clarify, communicate, close. Okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah. Seema now has a question too. So, hi, I am Seema. My question is how to keep ourselves self-motivated in this journey uphill.
Okay, so this is a very broad question. We can talk about this for hours on end. So to keep yourself motivated, the first thing that comes to my mind is go back to your why. Just like what we were discussing just now. Go back to your why. Why do you want to do this? And whenever you feel like down or you lose your motivation, just stop, breathe, pause, and think about why you started the whole thing in the first place. And our vision, that beautiful vision that we have envisioned for ourselves in the future, that can get us back on track. What do you think, Bobby?
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, I always tell people go back to their why. I think that's important. Another thing I'll add is your support network. So I have my own kind of philosophy, which is, vision, belief, support, and action will lead to success. And so vision, I think, is important. But support is also important. So who are the people out there that are going to be there to support you? So my why statement fuels me every day. But sometimes I need help. Sometimes I have a dark day. And so just like Shahab said earlier, he reached out to me to have a coffee, which ended up being an epic friendship for years. I also reach out to my close friends. I reach out to the world to ask questions and things like that. So I think that's another thing to keep in mind. Ultimately, I think that it's also just important to understand that this happens to everybody. We all have these struggles. We all go through this. We have dark days. We question ourselves. We all have imposter syndrome. And so as long as you have the right support system in place, you have the right why statement, and you just keep going. Just keep going. There's an expression, when you're going through hell, keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going, right? And so that's kind of what I would say to that. And again, going to personal branding, let's talk a bit more too about why do so many people not invest time and energy in the personal brand? What's stopping them?
I think the most important reason is that they are not aware of the importance of knowing your personal brand, clarifying your personal brand. They're not aware of its importance. They're just stuck. They're just lost. They're looking for somebody from outside to come and help them, to give them the answers. But I always say, know yourself to grow yourself. Right. You can't expect other people to decide for you, to make a decision for you. I was just shooting a video today for my content creation on social media, and I was talking about this concept that so many people come to me on a daily basis. They say, Shahab, I think I'm going to be successful if I take this path, but the people around me say that you'll be successful in that path. How do I decide? And I always tell them, shed other people's ideas and expectations. Know yourself to grow yourself. If you don't know what you're really good at, what your personal brand is, what do you stand for in this universe, nobody can decide for you. Nobody can help you be successful. What do you think?
That's a good point. And I like to use I use an offshoot of that expression that you just used, which is I always say, know yourself to show yourself and grow yourself. Right. So if you can know yourself and you show yourself, those two things are going to help you grow yourself. And
I love it.
The reason I say that is because it's good to know who you are, but the moment you know who you are and what your value is and what your gift is to the world needs to know. So you need to get out there and talk about it and tell people and create content and speak and write blogs and do what you can to get the word out there and build a thought leadership brand for yourself. I think that's going to be something that is going to be helpful. I think a lot of people, they get stuck because you nailed it. They don't know the value of it. They don't know the statistics, the data. Like it's amazing. And even in my work with DYPB, we spend a lot of our time going to companies and we want to deliver programs for them. We want to help their employees, but half our job is educating them. A lot of people, everyone now knows personal branding is around. It's important, but they don't know why it's important or how it's important. And we have to educate them on the data and how it gives people more fulfillment. It gives them more clarity. It gives them more purpose, and ultimately this leads to greater productivity and impact. So we have to educate everybody on this stuff because they don't know. And then the other thing is, I think a lot of people are just too afraid to start. I think a big problem is, particularly in the corporate world, a lot of people get stuck in their narratives about, I've been a welder for 20 years and I work for this company and there's really nothing else I can do, but whatever. Thank goodness for my wife and kids. And they get stuck in the narrative where they just settle for the status quo. And my message would be like, no, don't do that. Most of us, 75% of people are dispassionate or happy with their jobs. And that's because they create a narrative of stagnation, status quo, resignation, or just a narrative of whatever, and they don't actually say, no, I want to make every part of my life more fulfilling. I want to have purpose in all parts of my life. And so I think that's why they should do more personal branding.
Absolutely. And there's another thing, I believe, that keeps people from investing time, money, and effort on their personal brand. And that's, they think of it as shamefully promoting themselves.
Right.
Some people say, I was doing a keynote speak for GTA Rewards Association a few months ago, and there was this gentleman in the room, an HR director, and he stood up and said, all of this makes sense, but I don't want to shamefully promote myself. But the point is, personal branding is all about authenticity. You're talking about who you truly are and what value you bring to your audience. It's not shamefully promoting yourself. You're not faking something, or you're not like trying to, snatch money from people. It's just about providing value and expressing your authenticity. So there is a huge distinction between, I always believe there's a huge distinction between authentically communicating to your value to your target audience in a way that solves their problems, and just promoting yourself and putting on ads on social media or talking about your business all day long and promoting your business. What do you think, Bobby?
Yeah, I think the general idea is that, once you discover what your brand is and you design what the objective of your goal is to grow your brand, you provide tremendous value to the audience that you serve. So you find the target audience that you serve, provide them tremendous value. And in doing so, you're making your brand look good. But you're not actually promoting yourself. You're just providing value. Like this talk right now is you and I are basically answering questions on personal branding. We're trying to give our insights to help people. And in the end, if we do deliver great value, they'll look us up, they'll check out our links, make sure you check our links out, and they'll maybe say, hey, you know what, I'd like to work with these guys and things like that. That's kind of what you want to do. And a lot of people don't think about those things, but that's really what it is. It's not about self-promotion. It's just about creating value. So I think that's really good. Yeah. And again, I'm here with Shahab Anari talking about personal branding. He's a personal branding master, and just like myself, we both love personal branding. And he's running a big event in April, which is one of the reasons why we're actually on this call. So if you have questions, make sure you add them in the feed here so we can actually answer them. Tag people, bring people in the conversation, like heart and light bulb the conversation. We want to get as many people as we can here. But to that end, why don't you tell a bit more about this conference and some of the exciting stuff happening?
Absolutely, yeah. So we are all at Northstar Success, we're all super excited about this upcoming event in April. It's on Sunday, April 19th, a full day event. It will be held at Richmond Hill Country Club. It's called Personal Brand Mastery Conference. And since I'm really passionate about this topic, and if you look at the walls of my office, maybe later on I'll show it to the audience, everything is all about personal branding. So this whole conference is around the topic of personal branding. There are two pillars to all of our conferences, including this one. The first pillar is networking and learning from the best of the best. And for that purpose, the keynote speaker of this event is Bruce Cruxon, a dragon from the Dragon's Den. Obviously, all of the dragons have built amazing personal brands for themselves. Apart from the businesses that they've built amazing personal brands as well. And Bruce is just an amazing guy, a really cool guy, humble, down to earth, and very knowledgeable on the topic of business growth in general. So he'll be doing our keynote speech. And then we have a panel of amazing experts, including yourself, where they will be sharing their expertise with the audience around the topic of personal branding, and will be receiving our Master of Success award at the event. So there will be 3 people on that panel. Number one is you, Bobby, and I'm honored to have you at that event. You are a leader in our industry. I've always said that, and I'm honored to have you at that event and acknowledge all of your success and your contribution to the industry. The second person is Rola Dogger, president of Cisco Canada, and she was one of the top 25 immigrant women, RBC top 25 immigrants last year, and also she's done she has achieved tremendous success in other aspects as well. And the third person is Brandy Leifso, amazing woman, founder of EVO Beauty, Woman of the Year, Chatelain's magazine Woman of the Year in 2018. She has gone from homeless to Woman of the Year. Amazing story, amazing personal brand. And apart from Bruce Cruxon, the dragon, and the wonderful 3 panelists and awards recipients, we will be offering 12 other workshops on different topics around personal branding, self-awareness, business development, financial freedom, 12 different workshops throughout the day. So it's a full day of training and networking, because there's going to be 400 business professionals in the room. So tremendous opportunity for learning, tremendous opportunity for networking with business leaders like Bobby and the other amazing experts, and the other attendants. The second pillar that we always include in our events is recognition of stars, of champions. And just like I said, we will be recognizing 3 amazing experts who have built amazing personal brands: Bobby Umar, Brandy Leifso, and Rola Dogger at that event.
That's amazing, and just to keep talking more about this event, ticket sales are on now, but there's an early bird, right? So talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have super early bird pricing right now. The event is on super early bird, and we're offering an amazing deal. Honestly, we just want to get people in the room to show them the value and, provide tremendous value for them. So super early bird goes away in 3 days, honestly, from now, end of February. And we have a regular ticket, we have a VIP ticket. If you get the regular ticket, you get admission to the whole event, and lunch and refreshments is also included. If you get the VIP ticket, it comes loaded with value: admission to the conference, VIP lunch with all the speakers, amazing experts, and the dragon, and a session with me, a free session with me, and a lot of other goodies that are provided in the swag bags. So the super early bird goes away at the end of February. Then we have the early bird, and then we have the regular pricing. So I encourage all of you guys on this call, on this LinkedIn Live, if you're listening, just click the link, that we provide here. Bobby, you'll be providing the link, right?
Absolutely.
Down below. Okay. So click the link, go check out the event. If you're into networking, if you're the kind of person who's always looking for ideas, for opportunities to learn, who's interested in business growth, if you're interested in personal branding, this is an amazing event. And the super early bird price comes at 60 to 70% discount. If it's a regular ticket, 70% off. If it's a VIP ticket, 60% off. So it's an amazing offer. Just jump on it.
Yeah, and the good news is it's leap year, so you have an extra day. Which is nice.
There you go.
And let me just also say thank you so much for your kind recognition and giving me this nice award to go to the event and to be recognized. And I'm very grateful for that. Thank you so much for that. And while
you deserve it, my friend.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. And while we're on the topic, tonight, Shahab and I are going to be speaking at an event for DYPB, the Toronto LinkedIn Local Meetup. It's our 16th one. We're doing one on diversity and inclusion in the workplace. And so Shahab's going to be speaking about his experience with diversity and inclusion. And there's going to be an amazing panel of speakers to talk about diversity and inclusion. So it's sold out, so we're super excited about that. So that's really that. I'm looking forward to seeing you there for that. Meanwhile, again, if people have any questions on personal branding, please comment below and let us know what some of your thoughts are on that, and we will be happy to help you and answer questions. And if after this broadcast is over, you have a question after we're done, you know what? Just simply click on the replay, put your question in, tag us, and we would be happy to answer your questions. Let me ask you, since we are personal branding guys, that we like to talk about it. What's a question that people should ask us, but they don't ask about personal branding?
That's a very interesting question. They should ask us, but they don't ask?
Yeah, exactly.
Let me answer it this way. I think one of the most important issues that keep people from going forward and becoming more successful as a business professional, because I work with business professionals, I'm going to talk about my audience. The most important thing that keeps them from going forward and becoming successful is just listening to and paying attention to the noise out there. They're just copying everyone else. They're just looking at what's working in the market. Instead, they need to stop and look inward first. They have to find out, what's my true genius? What makes me stand out from the crowd? So back to your question, what is the question that they should be asking, but they're not asking? So the question that they are asking me right now is, how do I promote myself? What marketing strategies do I need to use? How many times should I post on social media? These are good questions, not bad questions. But the more important question is, what do I stand for in this universe? What is my personal brand? What is my unique promise of value? That was a tricky question, Bobby.
It was tricky. And as you're talking, it gave me time to think about, what would I say? Because I think I'm on mine. Mine is more about the commitment piece, right? So the question that people don't ask me is like, look, if I want to be successful, what kind of commitment do I need in terms of time and energy to make this happen? Because a lot of people are not willing to commit the time and energy. It doesn't happen overnight. You got to take the time to think, like diving into yourself to discover your brand and then designing what you want to then deliver it takes time. And what I'll often say in my keynotes is I'll say, look, are you willing to invest 100 hours of your time for 500,000 hours of fulfillment, happiness, and joy? So that's for 50 years. If you're willing to put 100 hours is actually, when you compare that to 50 years, it's nothing. Are you willing to put 3 to 6 months of time in to build a fulfilling, happy, joyful life for yourself? And if you are, then then get ready and do the work, because most people don't want to do the work. Right?
That's true.
I think it's a big challenge. And then, another question on personal branding. So, like for you, who are some other are there personal brands out there that you really admire, that you look up to?
I do admire a lot of people, not in the sense that I want to be like them or I admire every single thing that they do, but I do admire a lot of people. I have role models that I admire because of something that they have done, because of some attribute that they represent. So I do have a lot of role models. For example, in the personal branding space, you are one of my role models because you're really a heart-driven entrepreneur. That's what I really like about you. William Arruda is a role model because William Arruda is one of the few people who started this whole thing, right? Tom Peters is a role model because he was the genius who came up with with the idea of the brand called you. Lots of people. And it's not just role models in the industry of personal branding. I have a lot of role models too. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just wanted to share role models. I'll share two of my role models. One is Brené Brown. She did, when I did my first TED Talk on how to create deep, authentic connection, she had one on connection via vulnerability and data research. And I was like, oh, this is great. And everything she does around vulnerability and shame and authenticity, I love it. I think it's exactly the stuff that I talk about when I try to espouse, which is great. The other one, of course, I love is Gary Vaynerchuk. I think that Gary Vaynerchuk has an incredible personal brand. He's authentic. He's all about the hustle and entrepreneurship, and he's heart-driven. And I love what he does. And I gotta say, what would it take to get Gary Vaynerchuk to come to Toronto? I'm telling you, we need to get that guy to Toronto, and I think we're gonna do something. So I'm putting it out there, Gary. If you're watching this, I'm gonna send this to you. You need to come to Toronto, and we want to get a group hug going. We want 1,000 people to see what you're doing, love what you're doing, and showcase personal branding because I think you're one of the best personal brands out there. So I'm putting it out there, universe. Let's see what happens.
I'm with you on this, my man.
All right, I love it. Now, let's see other people again. If you're joining us, you can certainly ask questions. The other question I'll ask around personal branding. You talk about personal branding for entrepreneurs and things like that. So let's talk about. Let's say you've now done the work to really figure it out. Okay, so what are some of the key steps to really get it out there, and what are the key steps to get that brand out there that businesses need to be and entrepreneurs need to do?
Okay, it again goes back to my 3 C's methodology. I always follow that 3 C's with my clients. So first step is clarifying. You have to be clear with your unique promise of value, and that consists of 3 parts. Unique promise of value. Unique means you have to be different. You're either a commodity just like everyone else, or you have your own positioning, you have your own uniqueness. And there are tons of tools, assessments. You can do self-reflection. You can work with a coach to find that uniqueness. So the first step is obviously clarifying your unique promise of value. The second step is communicating. In my case, for my audience, a specific audience, marketing strategies, some of them online, social media, blogging, creating videos, stuff like this, LinkedIn Live, and so on and so forth. Some of it in person, like networking, reaching out to influencers, and so on and so forth. So marketing strategies, and I always talk about the 7 different marketing strategies that entrepreneurs can use to communicate their message, which I'll go through them very quickly. Networking, referrals, outreach, digital marketing, speaking, writing, and advertising. And eventually, the third one is close. For those people who are entrepreneurs, my audience, if they want to build a hugely successful personal brand and grow their business, they have to learn how to sell. Selling is one of the most important skills for any human being, especially if they are entrepreneurs. So it's not enough to know your brand. It's not enough to market your brand. It's extremely important as an entrepreneur to know how to sell. And by sell, I don't mean being salesy and sleazy and pushy. I mean how to convince the other person that this is the solution for your problem, and I'm building a relationship, and I'm helping you, and I'm consulting you to find that solution to your problem.
That's a good point, and I think a lot of people struggle also with the closing piece. So, how do I close a business? And again, if you have a clear, focused brand, and you provide tremendous value to that target audience that needs that brand, then that's how you're going to start to close business and grow your business, grow your brand. I think that's really important. We have another question here from Seema. Is it only coming up with unique ideas or doing what people are doing, also creates a strong personal brand. So I'm not sure what she means by that. So
I think she might be asking, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe she's asking, do we have to have a unique idea in order to build a personal brand, a successful personal brand? If that's the question, no, you don't have to have a unique idea in order to become successful. The only thing that you need to have is to have a big, bold promise, a unique promise of value. I always give the example of Domino's Pizza. So when they first came into the market, there were tons of other pizzerias around, tons of other pizza shops. They didn't come out into the market and say, we're just a little bit better, we're just a little bit less expensive. They didn't do that. They said, we will deliver hot, fresh pizza to your door in 30 minutes or less, or it's free.
Right.
That's a big, bold promise. So this is not a revolutionary new idea. It's just about pizzas, but they have a unique promise of value. So I think you don't necessarily have to have a new idea to become successful professionally. What do you think, Bobby?
Yeah, that's great. I think that you don't have to have a unique idea. You just have to be uniquely you. So what exactly is about you that's unique? And make sure the world knows what that is very specifically. Now, when it comes to ideas too, I mean, you can share ideas, new ideas. You can also share your own unique perspective on ideas, right? So you take create an idea right now, and then, for example, Shahab and I are both giving our own takes on how to deal with personal branding. We're talking about the same topic, but we do it in different ways. And so we have our own unique slant that makes us special, right? So I have my special methodology, he has his special methodology, and I think that's a great way to go as well. So yeah, I think that I think you did a really good job there. All right, well, this is awesome. This has been a great discussion. We've been on it for over 40 minutes, so I just want to probably get to the close here.
Sure.
And if anyone has any questions or anything else you want to ask, you can certainly tag myself and Shahab. We can answer questions for you. Again, Power Question Chat is here on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, usually 8:45 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. But today we have a special lunchtime edition because we want to make sure we brought Shahab on for this to talk about what he's doing, talk about his event, and don't forget to check out NorthstarSuccess.com. Right? Is that right? The right website?
That's right.
NorthstarSuccess.com, and check out the big event coming up. Get your early bird tickets for his big event. I'll be there too, so I'd love to see you as well, and it'll be fun to. I'm looking forward to meeting Bruce, and hopefully I can hobnob with him a little bit too. That'd be nice. I'm looking forward to that. And thanks so much for taking your time, Shahab, to join us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Bobby. I'm honored and privileged to be on this call with you. Thank you.
All right. Well, listen up, everyone. Have a wonderful, safe day, and I'll see you on Friday. Friday, I'm interviewing actually Jill Hewlett, who is a brain science speaker and expert, and that's going to be a really interesting topic at 8:45 a.m. on Friday. All right. This is Bobby Marr for Power Question Chat saying so long. Take care, and remember, your brand, your promise, and what you promise to the world is what's going to set you apart and make you unique. All right. Take care, and we'll talk soon.
Take care. Thank you. Bye.
And whoops, I'm just going to back in.